Everyone, welcome back. And in this video, we're going to be taking a look at attr, that is the attribute function in CSS. Yes, yet another function after var and calc and all that stuff. So let's just go ahead and take a look at what this attr means. So first of all, realize that this content right here is actually a string, right? So that is pretty cool. You cannot have a number right here. It will not work. You have to have a string irrespective of, even if that's a number. So content property right here always expects an arbitrary string. Number two is that sure, you can use variables here. That will just be fine. But you can actually use attributes from HTML element, the element which you're targeting directly. Now, what do we mean by that? You can go ahead and say attr right here, and you can say something like data my text, something like this. Now what this mean is that if I go ahead and on the banner, if I create an attribute data my text, and if I give it wow, you're gonna see, and nothing appears because this should not be in quotes. This attribute name should be in, without quotes. So this right here, you can see gives you wow inside the red rectangle, right? Because of this thing. But what's the point to note here is that you have picked up the value of an attribute which should technically not be visible on the page, because you should know that data dash anything is like a wildcard sort of given to you for putting in random amount of data in HTML, right? You can basically go ahead on any tag, put out data, something else and something value, and this will not reflect on the HTML page. It's sort of like a metadata placeholder for every single element, right? So you could pretty much put in anything right here, given that it's a valid attribute name, and it'll just work fine. But with CSS, you can sort of extract up these values right here. And it's not just, it's not just data my text. You could pretty much have an ID attribute right here, which is just going to reflect banner, right? Because the ID of the element is banner. So the attribute function right here, you see actually in CSS4 would ideally support a fallback version just like var supports, right? So if you have, an attribute which does not exist, like data my 123 or whatever, then if the value does not exist, you could technically go ahead and write hey here and the value would appear, right? But it does not work right now because this is a CSS4 specification and it does not exist in CSS3. So there's that. But anyway, as of now, you can go ahead and plug in the attributes and it'll just work out of the box. So yeah, that's pretty much it for this video. Hope you enjoyed it. I'm gonna see you in the next one really soon.